Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me out there? All right. Like I say, I never know how to start these videos, so I definitely want to start out by saying, you know, what up, cousin truckers and YouTubers? The usual spiel, you know. I recently had some problems with my Chrysler, and I had to take it in to get some service done to it. And while it was in the shop, man, there was just so many things wrong with my car. I don't even want to get into it because when I think about it, it upsets me, and also upsets me with Chrysler, which is also falls under Dodge and Fiat and all those things. But that's a whole nother video and a whole nother story. But after that event happened, I decided to just go ahead and rent me a vehicle, because I was going to take my car to see my grandmother in South Florida, but then my check engine light came on and all these other problems happened. And then I decided to just maybe go to the beach, but or at least go to the ocean. So I just decided to do the usual, which is rent a car. And I'm gonna just jump right into it. The vehicle I rented was this baby right here. The 2020 Ford Explorer limited edition. One thing I will say, I just been wanting to drive one of these cars for a while, because I love the way they redesigned the Ford Explorer. For me personally, it almost looks like the poor man's Range Rover. Just the way it's shaped now, and the grille and things like that. And I notice a lot of these cars and trucks now kind of have like a swoop in the back, where it's almost as if the front end of it is higher than the back end. And for me personally, it just reminds me of the Range Rover. Like, even this rear end to me looks sort of like the way those Range Rovers look. So I personally feel like this vehicle here, the Ford Explorer, is to me now the poor man's Range Rover. So this here is the rear end of the vehicle. One thing I do love is I love those tags. I love to rent vehicles that have out-of-state tags, because they make me feel like I'm from that state. And that way also, when I'm cutting people off in traffic, they'll be like, man, you know, those New Yorkers can't drive. Definitely love the side profile view of this vehicle. I just really like the way they redesigned it. I kind of wish they would keep just one color instead of like this two-tone rubber thing going on. But you know, this isn't my personal vehicle, so it really doesn't matter. To me personally, this Ford Explorer looks better than the new Expedition. They almost need to make the Expedition. Ford, if you're listening, if you watch my videos, I'm just telling you right now, the designers, you need to design the Ford Expedition to look more like this Explorer. Because, I mean, to me personally, it's just really a beautiful vehicle. Like, I like it a lot. Man, it is definitely windy out here. I don't know why every single time I go to do a video, it's like a storm or something happens. And so even right now, as you can probably tell, I don't know if you can see that building in the background, but I'm basically out here. I think it's called Polytechnic University. I'm out here shooting this video because there was a lot of sun out here, but now the clouds have followed me all the way out here. Because yeah, Orlando is a mess right now. Everything on the East Coast is a mess because it's like some type of storm or something going on. But let's get back to the vehicle. So I just love everything about the front end of this vehicle. Like, it's really nice. Me, myself personally, I would love to have one that's all one color. It's like the chrome look. For me, it's kind of played out. I would want something that the whole front end is like one solid color. You know, where everything is, you know, everything is sort of painted and not chrome. I love these new headlights. They're just absolutely beautiful. I love the new grille. I feel like the Ford logo is a little big, but I mean, it is a Ford, so, you know, they gotta put their logo on it. And what's also interesting is these here are the fog lights for this vehicle. I noticed that the vehicle had fog lights, but I thought they would be lower than that. But yeah, the fog lights are right there. But let's go ahead and go into the interior of the vehicle and let's check it out. All right, and this here is the interior of the Ford Explorer. Man, I tell you right now, this version of this Ford Explorer is the limited edition. And I'm not gonna say that it's not fancy or super fancy, but there's just so much that goes on with this vehicle. Like, it has so many buttons and so many compartments. I mean, all type of storage. And a lot of you know I love storage spaces. I mean, it's got places to put your keys, places to put your phone, you know, cup holders galore. Which some of you also know I love cup holders, because sometimes I have a lot of things to put in a lot of places. It has the standard eyeglass. I don't even know if people actually use this. Maybe people do. I guess I'm the only person on earth who doesn't. And yes, this is the push to start right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this baby on. And like I say, it's a very interesting vehicle. It has a lot of bells and whistles and buttons and, you know, all type of stuff going on here. It actually even has a hold on a second. It has a navigation system built in. So yeah, I am in Lakeland, Florida, and this actually seems to be very accurate. Like I say, man, with these newer vehicles, you know, everything is all touch screen. And it has all type of buttons and bells and whistles. And sometimes these things kind of freak me out, because I mean, I just always get nervous that they'll malfunction, or just that they would be really expensive to fix. And so, you know, sometimes I don't like all this type of stuff, but you know, it's still nice though. It's still nice to have, still nice for a rental vehicle. I mean, if you're renting a vehicle to go somewhere, I mean, it's always nice to kind of see what's going on in the world. And like I said, man, like the one thing I hate about any rental vehicle is trying to figure out all the buttons. I mean, there's just so many buttons on top of buttons, and different things do different things. And it's like you really got to make some mistakes and mess up some stuff in order to figure out some of what's going on with the vehicle. I mean, obviously, if I owned this vehicle, I would try to figure out all this stuff and how to get it to work for me. But since it is just a rental vehicle, you know, one of the coolest things to me is the drive modes. This one also does have a sports mode, which is absolutely incredible. Let me show you something real quick. So basically, with that sports mode, it has all types of modes. I mean, this vehicle is like a roundabout all over vehicle, and it's kind of funny because this is what the dash does when you change the different modes. And so yeah, this is like to tow and haul, you know, if you got a boat or something like that. To me, I love this sports mode just because it looks so mean, and the whole entire dash lights up red, and it kind of stays that color. And I will definitely say, man, that sports mode, I don't think some people know just how powerful the Ford sports mode is. I'm not going to say how I found out, but all I can say is I definitely was surprising a lot of people when I would take off in sports mode. And then they have an eco mode, which I will definitely say this vehicle burns a lot of gas. Right now it only gets 18.5 miles to the gallon, but to me it feels like it's only getting 13 miles to the gallon. But that's a whole nother story. Maybe it's because I got a lead foot also, which is why the gas mileage seems so crappy. That's the normal mode. They have a slippery mode. They have a trail mode. They have a deep snow mode, and sand. Okay, deep snow and sand, which we do have sand in Florida, but we definitely don't have any snow. And like I say, it's just interesting. It's very interesting the way, you know, this thing is so animated as you switch the modes. But I tell you, yes, that right there is my favorite mode right there. It actually has one of those 360 backup cameras, which is kind of interesting. As you can see, what's funny too is like and I'll see if I can find the other video I shot, and I'll add it to this video if I can. But basically, even if somebody is walking around, you can actually see them in this video. They look a little warped and a little weird, but it's still interesting to me how you can still see people at a 360 angle. And as you can see, I'm backing up. I feel like this vehicle has really good safety features, like it seems like a lot of Fords have. And as you can see, it will actually show you, you know, what's around the vehicle. Even if it's a person walking around, it'll show you that also. And so yes, overall, it's just been a Hang on, let me wipe some of the sweat off my face, because I started noticing on so many of these videos I'm so sweaty, and I apologize, guys. It's just I'm a sweater. You know, I probably need to, you know, reduce my salt intake, and maybe that'll help with some of the sweat. But also, it's kind of cool right now, so I'm not sweating too bad, but you know, I'm still moving around, so I do get a little hot. But getting back to the vehicle, like I say, as far as handling and things go, it's a very nice vehicle. It's weird and kind of hard to explain, but to me, it seems like it handles better at higher speeds. I'm not sure how that's possible, but that's just the way it feels to me. The pep to it, it kind of varies from situation to situation. It seems like on the highway it does really good as far as, you know, weaving in and out of traffic, but around town it just kind of seems a little delayed, and I'm not sure what that's about. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic, so I'm not sure what causes that, but it just feels like it doesn't quite want to go sometimes. But it's also maybe just the way I drive, you know. So let me go ahead and also get ready to do the back seat test. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna attempt to get into this back seat for the very first time. And you know, obviously it should not be a problem. Because this, although it's not a full-size SUV, it's not like the Tahoe or something like that. And yeah, this back seat is definitely comfortable. I mean, there's no problems at all. Definitely seems like it would be good for a road trip. I mean, yeah, I still got my broke foot. It hasn't completely healed yet, but you kind of see there's a lot of space back here. So yeah, this definitely would be comfortable for a full-size adult to be in this back seat. This is, like I said, this is my first time getting in the back of this vehicle. So I do notice that the air vents are here. They're not down here where I was assuming they were going to be. But it looks like back here you do have your own control. And the one thing I love about this vehicle is got, you know, actually I didn't even realize that's actually a regular plug where you can just plug, you know, like a regular house plug. Okay, and this one is like a battery charger station. I see back here it doesn't have the cigarette lighter AC adapter. It has like the plug that you would use for the house, which I guess could be better. And yeah, and back here, like I said, you can control the air. And yes, it's like the air comes out here. So that could be kind of interesting. I've never really, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of interesting, but that's basically, there's basically where you control the air from. So let me turn this crap off. And so yes, actually this vehicle does have 3 rows of seats in it. So since I do have this vehicle and it does have 3 rows of seats, I'll try to get into the 3rd row and see if it's comfortable or not. So let me try to get out the car without falling over my foot and without breaking my butt, because that would make for a more viral video, but it also would be kind of embarrassing. One other thing I want to mention that's interesting about this vehicle is actually right here, you can control the rear seats, like whether you pull them up or pull them back. So I don't know who would ever want to seat that close, but that is an option that you have for someone in the rear seat to move it forward or move it back. I guess it just depends on who's sitting in the 3rd row seat. But it looks like to open up this seat, it has the knob up here that you just pull forward. And that's gonna be kind of interesting because, like I say, I got this bad foot. I'll try to see if I can squeeze back there, but it might take me a moment. I'm gonna try. I'm not as nimble or limble as I used to be. So, all right. I am now, okay. It's not horrible. All right, well, I'm in here. It's actually kind of interesting. I see also they got vents here too. Looks like the vents back here. Looks like the vents back here on the roof. But I'm actually back here in the 3rd row seat, and it's surprisingly not that uncomfortable. Like, as long as the person sitting in front of me isn't too tall and doesn't need to push that seat all the way back, like, it's actually pretty decent. Like, and as you can see, like, this is where my knee is and things like that. But what's also interesting is I don't feel like my knees are up to my chest. I sat in the back of the Yukon and the Tahoe on some of my previous videos, and the whole time it felt like my knees were up to my chest. But in this one, it doesn't feel that way. So, and then like I said, there's actually, you know, supposedly 3, 6, 8 people can fit in this vehicle, or at least 7 comfortably. But I think, yeah, for this back seat here, only 2 people can fit back here. 3 could fit there and 2 up front. So this would be a decent family vehicle, obviously, as long as you don't have too much baggage, because, you know, that's all the space you have left if you need to use this 3rd row seat. So let me get from back here, because I got this vehicle running and I'm on private property filming this video. So let me get from back here before somebody comes and drives off with me in the back seat. And I'm realizing you definitely would want to let a child get back here, or someone who's younger who can maneuver without breaking their butt. I'm going to try to get out of this vehicle, but it's going to be interesting, and I'm going to try this on camera. So let's see. All right, let me take this foot easily. All right, that wasn't too bad. But like I say, I definitely think if you rent a vehicle like this, it's definitely better for the kids to be in the back instead of an adult. And so let's check out the trunk space. This vehicle here does have dual tailpipes. It is the limited edition. It's also EcoBoost with 4-wheel drive. And for me, I just love the fact that it has out-of-state plates. I just love the out-of-state plates, because that way when I cut people off in traffic, they'll blame that state and not blame, you know, the Floridians, and they won't blame Florida for the nonsense. Said in previous videos, it's always interesting trying to figure out how to open up the trunk. I thought this was the open up the trunk, which is kind of silly, but it seems like when I pull on it a little bit, it almost like it wants to take this whole entire camera out. So I know that's not it. So then I just started kind of reaching under here, pushing things, and lo and behold, there she is. And as I've said before, with so many of these newer vehicles, everything is like automated. It's not like the good old days when you had to manually open and shut every single thing. And yeah, so I was sitting here originally, and as I said before, if you do plan on taking at least 7 people with you, you got to realize this is all the space you're going to have in the back here. These seats, all these seats are now automatic. I actually just realized they have another adapter back here, which is cool. I mean, I love that they have so many adapters in these vehicles, especially when you're taking people with you, because everybody has their own specific cell phone charger and everybody needs a port to put it in. So yes, to lift the seats up are these buttons right here. So like I say, everything is all automated now. It's like even the headrests at the top. Wait a minute. Oh man, I didn't realize it was automatic. I just pushed it once and it did that. Let me push it again. Oh, okay. So this one, you just push it once and that's what it does. I thought this headrest was automatic, but I guess it's not. You have to like manually, physically pull it up, which is fine. But as I said before too, well, see, I guess when you let it down, it goes down automatically. But when you lift it back up, you have to do it manually. So yeah, if you don't need this rear 3rd seat, you can always let it down. And this would give you a lot more space in the rear of the vehicle. So then if you only got 5 people going on the trip, you have a lot more space to put things, which is also very handy and very cool. So I'll go ahead and pull that back up. And like I said, it looks like whenever you pull this back up, you have to manually pull the seat the headrests back up. It doesn't go up automatically. And then there's also these compartments down here. I haven't opened these yet, so let's see. Hopefully Jimmy Hoffa isn't here. Oh, okay. So yeah, so it's just extra space. So yeah, it's just extra space to put more things. This is definitely like almost like a utility vehicle. So I guess if you have any other bags, or even if you don't need this part, you could always leave it at home if you need to put more baggage down here you know. Shut the trunk. They have this button here that helps it automatically go down. And there you have it. And for those of you who've been watching this video, you can see that like we're definitely losing sunlight. And from what I can see now, the storm is definitely coming. All right, guys, the rain started. I knew I didn't have much time because the rain has started. So I got the camera propped up. Don't worry, I'm not driving and filming. Actually, I am driving and filming, but I'm not holding the camera. But I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of get up out of here because I am on private property. And like I said, the rain has started outside. And so I'll try to, so as I always say with all these videos that I record, I just definitely want to thank you guys for constantly checking the stuff out, checking the videos out. I actually just left Windermere Cars and Coffee, so you probably will see that video also being posted. And as usual, I just want to thank you for always showing support. Thank you to all the people who come up to me at the different shows and like, man, I check out your stuff all the time, I love it. I really appreciate that. It kind of motivates me to kind of keep going. I try to go to all different types of car shows. I want to even try to review all different types of cars, even cars that I myself don't so much like. But I mean, you know, that's something else I'm thinking about. I might start renting some smaller vehicles, like even smaller cars and things like that. Recently, I had a Hyundai Elantra that I just did not like, so I took it back because they didn't have any other vehicles. But I also realized, like, man, I probably should have did a review on the Hyundai Elantra because there are people out there who do like Hyundai Elantras. And I mean, hey, all you need is your vehicle to get from A to B. That's all that matters. Almost like no matter what kind of vehicle it is. So I'm going to get ready now to head back to Central Florida. Like I said, thank you for all the support. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all those good old-fashioned things. Tag. And if you have a vehicle out there that you would like Cuzzintruck to review, please, you know, send me a message. But just keep in mind, I have to have the vehicle for at least a day or two to kind of drive it around, test it out. You know, I won't dog your vehicle out, but I will need to kind of test it out a little bit. So I thank you guys very much. Like I said, right now I'm leaving Polytechnic University. I probably will edit a lot of this stuff out of the video. The one thing I do not like though, and I hate to say this, is the gas. Like, for whatever reasons, this baby burns a lot of gas, and it could be that I'm driving it. It could be because I'm driving it in normal mode and not eco mode. And it also could be just because, you know, I'm driving it faster than it's meant to be driven, and you know, I may be causing it to burn more gas, so I almost can't 100% blame the vehicle for that. Oh yeah, safety features. I will definitely say this vehicle has a lot of safety features. I think I showed you how it has the 360 camera. It does have the lane warning, like if you're going over and there's a vehicle. It does have the blind spot warning, which is also very helpful in a vehicle this size because sometimes you just can't see people with the way these vehicles are made, and the windows are only, and the side view mirrors are only so big. So it does have a lot of good safety features. And overall, like I say, to me, I just feel like it's almost like, I've never driven a Range Rover before, but I almost feel like this is now like the poor man's Range Rover, you know? So I thank you guys for checking out the video, and I'll holla. Deuces.